Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, fam. I appreciate you being here. Hope all is well. Sorry, I have to say, I am so sorry for coming on here late. Um, I had to keep changing the time and then even change the time and still not on time. So I do apologize for that. And if I missed you, I hope you catch the replay or you are here right now and you came on back because you saw Rooted was going live. But welcome in, welcome in. If you're new to the channel, we're all about health and wellness over here and using natural plant-based things for your everyday needs. But because of the holiday, we bend that rule just a little bit because we like to eat things and do different things over here. So, um, my channel is 98% health and wellness, but sometimes we just bend that little rule and we do other things. So, if you missed yesterday's vlogmas of day 21, go back and watch it. We made some fried Oreos, deep fried Oreos, and they were the business. We still have some, and um, they are a hit, so I'll definitely be doing that again. But I want to try to make it a healthier version and not deep fry in some grease and maybe make my own cookie or something. I don't know. We'll try to make something a little more healthier when it comes to that. But I do appreciate each and every one of you joining me tonight. You will see me here in just a second, so give me a second. But welcome to the channel. Welcome, welcome. All is welcome here. We like positive energy, good vibes, none of that negativity. Leave that at the door. Wipe your feet off and come on in and chill with me, Famous. And yes, that is my real name. And we gonna turn you around so you can see me. Ta-da, there I am. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Well, we almost fell. Y'all almost fell off. I got this stand, y'all. And I gotta look at, it's like a 3-prong stand. And I got y'all on the counter, so y'all almost fell off. We got a Christmas tree behind us. We got a Christmas tree over here. Like we got the Christmas vibe over here. But thank you for joining me. I do appreciate you. Welcome in. I see we got some folks up in the chat, so let's see who is up in here. So I probably missed Faith, Rochelle, and Miss Nisi because I was late. Yes, I was running late. Hopefully you guys come on back. And then I see Sassy. Hello, hello. Brit family, excuse me. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I hope all is well. We're going to get into making our icing for our sugar cookie. So if you missed the live of making the sugar cookie the other day, we made our sugar cookie. Let me show you. So this has been chilling in the refrigerator since this morning. So it was in the freezer. It's still is a little cold. So I think it's still like it's not like frozen, but it is like a block. So tomorrow I will leave this out on the counter and let it just get room temperature. It should take like an hour or two maybe to get to room temperature, but it's been chilling in the refrigerator and we're gonna leave it in the refrigerator. But we made that the other day, I believe Sunday. So that was Vlogmas day 20. You'll see it. It's sugar cookie dough that we made. We didn't bake them. We're gonna bake them tomorrow, so stick around for that. And then on Wednesday, we will decorate them for Santa Claus, because we believe in Santa Claus over here. And I do have a 7-year-old, so yes, we're all about that Santa Claus life. But we all know, Dad is Santa Claus. But we are making the royal icing, so I like to do something a little different with my sugar cookies. I did it last year, so if you've seen Vlogmas last year, you know what it is. But this is my second time only making this royal icing. And it was a hit the first time. I had no hiccups, no issues, and hopefully we will have that again. So fingers crossed, but we should be able to do this. I may play the channel that was giving me the instructions, but I think I'll be okay for the most part. It's very simple ingredients that you need. So for one, royal icing is powdered sugar. So that's how you make this icing. This is a 2-pound bag of powdered sugar, so you're gonna need the whole thing. You will need meringue powder. So this helps with like keeping it stiff. It's meant for the royal icing. So if you've seen these decorative cookies that people make, there is meringue powder usually in the icing. So we'll be using this, and I bought this last year. I don't know the expiration date on it. So it expires next year. So yeah, next year is when it expires. So we have some time. But I got this last year, and it says an ideal substitute for raw egg whites. Perfect for royal icing, meringue cookies, angel food cake, and more. Serving suggestions. But yeah, we got that. And then you will need some light corn syrup. Light. So don't get the dark one. And this helps give your royal icing a shine. And I can't see how many people are in here, but if you're in here, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So yeah, some of this. And then if you want to make your icing a different color, you will need some type of coloring. These are not like the greatest choice when it comes to dyeing your food. I don't like to use a lot of coloring in my food just because of the health risks that it has in it, especially that red 40. We know it's not good for our health. And if you didn't know, Google it, do your research. You'll find out that red 40 is just not the greatest thing in our foods, but it is in a lot of foods. And it is in this blue coloring that I have that I got from Hobby Lobby. And this is not sponsored. And then we got some white because why? We're doing the Winter Wonderland theme. So if you've seen the Christmas trees, the decorations, they're all silver, white, and light blue. So we have white and blue. And we're gonna make a lighter blue by adding just a little bit. The reason why you want white icing, especially if you're using other colors like blue and whatever color, this is like an ingredient to the royal icing. So you need your white gel food coloring, and this will help it. So when you're mixing your colors, like say I have a blue and a white, they won't bleed together. So if you put them next to each other, they won't like combine, and that's what the white helps with. So that's why we're using white. But we're also gonna lighten up this blue so we can have a lighter blue. And we're trying to get 2 different types of blue, so a darker blue and a lighter blue, and then we'll also have white. So we're doing 3 different colors just by using 2 colors. And with the royal icing, we're gonna make 1 big batch, and then we're gonna split it up into 3. And then those 3 colors that we're making, we're gonna split those into 3 more. So we're gonna have 6 altogether, just by using this 1 bag. And the cookie dough that I have, it should make up to 24 cookies, depending on how thin I roll the dough. But I'm guessing we will get around 20 to 24 cookies. So it will be some greatness. But let's get into this royal icing. You will need a stand mixer, but if you don't have a stand mixer, you can use the handheld mixer. It just will take a little longer. I'll try to give you as much information as possible without confusing you, but I also shared the channel. So if you go to my community tab, you'll see there is a channel that I follow, and they do all the cookies and the royal icing. So if you want a real expert to explain it to you, go to that channel. But definitely stick around. You'll see some greatness here happening in the kitchen as we make some royal icing for Santa. And I do appreciate y'all being here. Now, let's figure out this stand situation. I think I need to lower y'all. Yeah, we're gonna lower. Lower. Without having you fall off. Because y'all are like right to the edge. Maybe if yeah, let's do that. Tighten it so you don't fall off. All right. But let's see who's up in here. Sam, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Sassy Britt, Ricardo, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so you'll also need some decorative bags. I've never used a Ziploc bag, so I don't know if that would work. You could try it, but you do need like a icing bag. And you don't need like the little metal tip. You don't need that for this. You will need some bowls as well. But let's get into this. You will need a paddle. And we're gonna come right over here to the mixer. And we have our bowl. And our bowl is a little wet because we just rinsed it out. If you're making royal icing, just make sure that you have no grease buildup in your bowl, because it will make your royal icing not hold together like it should. So if you've had butter in your bowl or some type of grease, just make sure you wipe it out with like vinegar or something. Clean it really well. Your paddle as well, because you don't want that in there. And I'm gonna get this water out of here. And wipe this. And y'all, I tell y'all every time, and I didn't even do it, but we need to wash our hands. Wash your hands, y'all. So the soap that I'm using is a foaming hand soap, and it is an all-natural foaming hand soap. If you would like to get this soap, you can check out my website. It is a Christmas spirit hand soap. It smells amazing, and you're not using a bunch of harmful chemicals to wash your hands, and it won't like dry your hand out or anything like that, but it's also going to get those germs off without using a bunch of harmful things. And remember, whatever you put on your skin, you absorb. So if you're using a bunch of colors on your skin and fragrance, it's not good for your health, especially if you're using it over and over and over. It can build up and turn into something nasty with your health. So just keep that in mind. Use something a little more natural. And you can go to my website. All right. Now I need to dry my hand. And I don't have any towels because they're in the washer upstairs. All right, we got a towel. We got a towel, y'all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Hello, John. There's more. Yeah, I don't know why you would put that. Why? Wow, that's cool. Thank you, Britt. I appreciate it. All right, so we got our bowl all dried out. I don't see any grease buildup, so we're good to go. And we're gonna lock in our bowl so it doesn't move. And we're gonna open this entire bag and put it in there. First thing first, you want to mix the powders together. So remember, we have the meringue and the powdered sugar. So we're gonna mix those two together. But I hope everyone's having a great start to the week. Christmas is almost here, y'all. Are you ready for Christmas? Are you ready? Put it in the chat if you're ready for Christmas. We are ready over here. We still gotta wrap some presents because that hasn't happened. You want the entire 2 pounds of powdered sugar. And even if you don't use all this icing, you can freeze it for another cookie day. And I like using this icing. I did it last year for Vlogmas and it was a hit. I love the flavor. It is a good flavor, and it's not like overly sweet. With the cookie and the icing, it's just not overly sweet, which is a great thing. All right, so we got the 2 pounds of sugar in there. Now we're gonna get the meringue, and I will link the directions for this recipe in the description. I did not have a chance to do that before going live, so I'll put it after the live. But we're gonna need 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons of the meringue. 1, 2, and 3. So before we do anything with this, we are going to make sure we mix this, just the powders, so it's evenly distributed throughout the powdered sugar and meringue. So it's all mixed. And we're just gonna put this on low and let it combine itself. Lock in this paddle. You don't want the whisk, you want a paddle for your mixer. And we're just gonna put this on the first speed and let it go. So that was the meringue and the powdered sugar. Very, very simple ingredients. You don't need a lot. The next things that we're going to add after this combines is the liquids. And I want a rubber spatula, if I can find one. Come on, rubber spatula. I'm on the search. There it is. Got the rubber spatula. All right, so this is just the dry ingredients. I'm gonna turn it off for a second. We're gonna scrape the sides to make sure we got all the sugar all mixed in there with the meringue. Has anyone ever made royal icing? And if so, would you share your recipe? If you're a content creator. Hello, hello. Amber Bear, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here, I appreciate you. And thank you, Britt, Miss Yolanda, thank you, I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, Amber Bear. Yes, this is exactly what I need to be doing. Hey, famous, hey, everyone. Yes, Amber Bear, so we've already made our cookies from scratch. We're making the icing. Tomorrow we'll bake the cookies off, and then on Wednesday, Christmas Eve, we will decorate the cookies for Santa. So we do it in stages over here, because if you do it all at once, it's just too much. We gotta simplify this, break it up in the days that you have. And I do work a full-time job, so trying to do this all in one day is just not suitable for me. Plus, I got other things to be doing as well. I am a family man. All right, so that's been mixing long enough. We're going to add our water. So we want 2/3 cup of water. And I forgot to get the measuring cup before I set up. So let me just grab it because it's right here. And y'all are a little in the way. Measuring cup. It is a difference between a liquid measuring cup and a by volume measuring cup. So if you're not sure what I'm talking right now, let me show you. All right, so this is a measuring cup by volume, so it goes off of volume. This is for liquids, so you don't want to put powder into this because it's not going to accurately measure it. Powders are in here if you're going to measure. This is for liquid, so if you have any kind of liquid, this is it. So we want 2/3 cup, and on the measuring cup it says 2/3, so we're just gonna use like, not warm, not hot, of water. And what we will do is add half of that into the royal icing. So we're not gonna add this whole thing in there just yet, because depending on where you live, you wanna add the whole thing or not even the whole thing. But we're going to add this in there, and it's gonna look really not so great. Almost like a, what do you call it? A glaze and not an icing. But if you stick with it, it will get better. So let me bend it down. You can see it's just powder. But we're gonna add like, probably like a little less than half. It's gonna get all chunky and weird looking. So that was probably half right there. A little more. And a little bit goes a long way, so don't go crazy with your water. Save it. Put it to the side. You may or may not need it for later. We're also going to add the lock it in. This does lock, so that's the great thing. We're gonna add the cornstarch, and I'm gonna stop it for just a second because we don't want to over mix our icing. But we're gonna add the corn syrup, cornstarch, not cornstarch, corn syrup, y'all. So a 1/4 cup of that. And the reason why I'm using this, I know I said by volume, but I have water in here, so I don't want to like mix that. But this would be okay for the corn syrup. Turn this back on low. And pour it in. This is what gives your shine to your royal icing. Just pour that all in the it's looking real chunky and not like it should. I am going to add just a little bit more water. Remember, a little bit goes a long way, so don't go crazy with it. We're gonna stop it, and we're gonna scrape the sides. Scrape those sides, y'all. Scrape them. And if you're just joining, we're making royal icing. And sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat. But I will get there in just a second. We will get there. This is thick, y'all. It's thick. I feel like I need a spoon or something. We're gonna set that. And we're gonna grab a spoon so we could scrape the bottom. There we go. Scrape that side. All right. It didn't chunk up like that last time I did it. I'm gonna turn that back on. We're probably gonna add some more water to it. Lock it in place. But if you've made royal icing, let us know. Put it in the chat. Let us know. What do you think of the royal icing? And would you, if you've never made it, would you make it? We would like to know. All right, we're going to add the extracts. And y'all, I didn't even pull out the extracts. 1 second. I would definitely try it. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Brit fam, it's pretty easy. You just the only thing with the royal icing is you have to make a flood icing and a like outline icing. And I'll tell you what that means when we get there. But you definitely need 2. That's why I said we're making 6 bags, because 3 of those will be outlines and 3 of those will be floods. But I gotta get the extract, y'all. I gotta get the extract. And I'm not seeing it. I need clear. There it is. It's right there in front of me. So we like to use clear extract because it will not tint your icing. So we have a vanilla extract that's clear. Wait, that's not it. This is the one. And it says it on there. Imitation clear vanilla. That's the one we want. And we're doing 1 tablespoon of this, and then we also have butter extract, and we're doing 1 tablespoon of that. So we have our tablespoon. Pour this in there. And if you've never seen clear, most of the time I've always seen it brown, but they do have clear imitation, so we're pouring that in there. And then we got butter extract, and this gives it, this like cuts the sugar. It makes it to where it's not so sweet. And I added this to the cookie as well. So when we made the cookies, we added the butter extract. And then we add that in there. And then we just let this mix until it's smooth. It smells amazing. Vanilla butter. It smells great. Put it back on low. We will scrape the sides here again in a second. And now that we have that in there, we're gonna add our white food coloring. And remember, the white food coloring makes it to where it's not gonna bleed with the other colors. So this is an important ingredient. So if you're using different colors, make sure you have the white. And you're doing 1 teaspoon of white. 1 teaspoon, not tablespoon, teaspoon. And this will just make it super white. And we will close that up. And we got some for the next cookies that we make. And if you look closely, it's looking like a paste almost. We're gonna stop it real quick, unlock it, and we're going to scrape the sides. It's important, scrape your sides. You wanna incorporate all of this icing. And it's looking right, it's looking nice and right. With this icing for the outline, this is what keeps the flood icing from coming off the cookie. So you do your outline first when you're making your cookie or decorating your cookie, and then you will add the flood to it. And the flood is what fills the cookie. The outline holds the icing in. So you want one kind of thick, like almost like this consistency right now, and then we will thin out the flood icing with a little more water. So we didn't use all of this water. And how do you know if it's at the right consistency? Is it will make a peak. And if you shake it and jiggle it, it should melt back into each other. And this one is still stiff, so I'm gonna loosen it up just a little bit. Remember, a little bit goes a long way, so you don't need to add a bunch of water to loosen it. And there is such a thing of over mixing, so try not to over mix. It may look pretty and you're like, ooh, this looks so great, I wanna keep mixing. Don't over mix your icing. Don't do it. And I feel like this is a good consistency because we're getting like a soft peak, which if you know what it is. And I'll try to show you. Let me lift this up. So a soft peak, see how that is right there on the, it will form a peak and hold its shape, but if you shake it, it should melt back into each other. And this is still a little thick, so I'm gonna loosen it just a little more, just a little bit. And look how much water I add, not a lot. It takes very little, like a splash. Remember, don't overmix. Welcome in, Crystal's World. Welcome, Miss Nisi, here in the corner, everyone. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It's looking great. It is looking great. This is the royal icing for the sugar cookie that we made. I don't know if you can see it dripping, but it's dripping, y'all. It's dripping. Let me see if I can pull you off of here. And this is what the consistency we want. So if you shake it, well, let's let it ribbon real quick. So you see it's like ribboning and it's holding its shape. So this is like a good flood consistency. We could probably add just a little more water, but when you shake it, you see how it like melted back into each of the, so I'll show you again. It ribboned and you shake it and it like melts back in. That's what you want. But I'm gonna loosen it just a little more to where it's like just a little looser, just a little bit. It's still on the thick side. And this is how you make royal icing. Very, very simple. And then we'll make our colors. Remember, don't overmix. So that's all the water I'm gonna do. Once this is incorporated, I will stop mixing. And then we'll mix one color at a time. Okay, we're good there. And I'll show you one more time. I feel like that's a little thick. You see how it's like plop? We don't want the plop. So we're gonna add just a little more water. You want it to be like a silky smooth, no plopping when it falls off the, and the lady that made this, she says that in her videos, no plopping. Okay, I think that's good right there. Okay. Let's see. I feel like it's a... Yeah, this is much better. Much better, much better, much better. But you don't have to like move super fast, but you want to move fast enough. Especially, like, you don't want the sides to crust over and get all hard and then you're like, oh, and then it gets into the icing and then it starts to crack and you just don't want those issues. So we're gonna stop there. Yeah, we're gonna stop here. And we're going to make our colors now. So we have other bowls here. And I'm gonna take this and we're gonna get some of the icing and put it in this bowl. And I'm trying not to touch the like edge of the bowl. That way we can have icing. And again, this will be more than enough for the cookies. I am going to put a wet paper towel over it. so it doesn't get hard, and we can go to the next one. All right, so this will be our blue. This will be our blue icing. I'm gonna set that to the side. We're going to get that out of there. We got paper towel here. I'm gonna wet it and then place it over the bowl so it doesn't like crust over. This is where you don't have to work super fast, but you don't want to move super slow because then your icing's gonna start hardening, and yeah, that's not what you want. So I'm gonna wet this paper towel like so. This will help it from preventing to crust over. Open this bad boy up. Wring some of that water off. And we're just going to place it over the bowl. Like so. Just like that. Simple, easy. And this will help it from not crusting over. Now we can work with this bad boy over here. And I'm gonna angle you down. Move this way so you can see. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Let me open this. Okay, we can see. Oh, that ain't nice. All right. Hello, hello, Trisha Nicole, welcome in. Black to Future, welcome in. Thank you for the floating heart. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we got Jules over here. We're making royal icing for our sugar cookies for Santa. So that's what we doing, making icing. We got our cookies already made. We made them the other day. So we did this in stages. Made the cookie. Now we're making the icing. Tomorrow we'll bake the cookies. And then Wednesday we will decorate them. So all in stages. But this is blue because we're going for the light blue. Well, this one will be the darker blue. So I'm going to put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drops and see what we get with that. I think we'll stick with this. As the icing, like, not dries, but like settles, the color will get a little darker. So as it sits, it will get darker. And that was 8 drops, so perfect. This is the light blue that we were going for. Love the blue. And this will be our outline. But I'm gonna take half of this and thin it out. So then when we do the outline, it won't be as thick and it will flood that cookie. So the outline is where you can do like the outlining of the cookie, but also do decorative, what do you call it? Details that will like kind of stand out and won't melt into the icing. Almost like 2D or 3D, if you will. And the flood is like the base of the cookie. So we're gonna make 2 out of this one, but I need a glass. And basically, we are going to take one of our piping bags. In the video, the video that I shared, she has a bag where it only has 1 seam. I have 2 seams. You'll see 1 here and 1 on the bottom. So I couldn't find the bags she was using, so I ended up getting these. And they work. Like, there's no issue with this. But there is a technique to putting on your you got too big of a cup, y'all. There is a technique to putting on the outlining. The outlining, you need a smaller glass. And I put it in a glass and turn it inside out because it's just easier to deal with. You don't have to like worry about, oh, it's you holding the bag and fumbling with it. So this is the outline of the blue. And I know there's white on here, but it's okay. So I feel like that's enough of the outline for the blue. We don't need a bunch of this. And we just tie it off. And we'll save this for Wednesday. So we're just pushing it down. I'm actually gonna leave it open. I probably should have let the air bubbles escape because there are gonna be bubbles. I'm moving too fast, y'all. I'm gonna leave that open and let the air bubbles escape for a second because we mixed it so much there is air bubbles and you don't want those air bubbles to be in your icing because then it will bubble up your icing. We're gonna thin this one out, so this will be our flood, and all you need is very little water. As you can see, and we still got the water, it's very thick, like it's not even melting into itself, if you see, and there's a kind of a soft peak that's happening. It's holding its shape, but it's not like where we want it. So we're gonna thin this out. Just add very little water. You don't want it to be as thick as the outlining. A little bit goes a long way, and if you see, it's all shiny again. It gets all glossy when you add the water. Beautiful color, beautiful color. And this is another way, so you don't have to make two icings and try to match them. I always make the line first, the outlining first, and then I thin out the rest of it, and we have the same color. Even though we're watering this down a little bit, it's still gonna be the same color. So we'll ribbon it. You can see as you ribbon, it like melts back into each other. So that's like perfect for the flood consistency. And let me show you again, if you didn't catch it. It's like melting right back into itself. And that's perfect for a flood. The other one was thicker, so it didn't do that. Now, we could leave this to the side for like 5. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll leave it to the side for like 5 minutes, but while that sits, where's my paper towel? There it is. You need paper towel so it doesn't dry out. Wet paper towel, y'all. Wet paper towel. While this one sits and the air bubbles get out of there, we will move on to the next one. All right. And that's all you gotta do is just put a wet paper towel over it, cover the edge. Let's take this out of there. But let's put some of that back. Oh no. Okay. We're over here messing up now. Okay, there we go. So that will help it not dry out. But I gotta use the same spatula. So I gotta rinse it off. and make the next color. So we'll keep some white, and the next color will be probably darker than that blue. So we'll add like maybe, we'll go, I don't know, maybe like 10, like 15 drops of blue. Give me 1 second, I'm rinsing the spatula off. And thank you everyone for joining me. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I appreciate you being here. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. If you celebrate a different holiday. Tomorrow I will have a video up, so I will not be going live. Well, I may not go live, but we'll see. You know me, I'm always doing something different. I might just do a live and a video. But I'll have a video for tomorrow. And what it will be, you'll have to come and check it out. All right, so we're all cleaned off. Now we're going to make the next color. And I feel like this has been 5 minutes. You can't see it, but I do see air bubbles, so I'm just trying to pop those. And then I'm gonna tie this off. You can kind of see them like right there on the side of the bag. So there's some air bubbles in there, but it's okay. It won't hurt us. And then this will be good for Wednesday. So what we're gonna do is, it's kind of hard to tie a bag when your hands are a little wet. But what we're gonna do is put these in the refrigerator, so they will be fine until Wednesday. And then when Wednesday comes, or not, yeah, Wednesday, we'll pull them out probably like 2 to 3 hours before we decorate, and that way they're at room temperature and they can like settle, get right, and then we'll just cut the ends off. When you cut the ends off, you want very little, so I'll pretend like I'm cutting it, but you see the tip, you want like that very small, and go small at first, and then if it's too small, you can make it a little bigger, but go very, very small when you're using this tip bag. And I try to keep it flat like that. So the edges, the like seam is like kind of facing you. But yeah, that's one bag of blue. And we will get to the next one. So let me get the icing up in here. Let me get that icing up in here. And you can see the icing on the side has like went back down. It's like going back down, and that's perfect. That means it's not gonna be all crusted over in the middle or on the edges of the bowl. We're gonna leave some of this white because we like the white and the light blue. If you see my cookies last year, you know what I'm talking about. I think we're gonna use some different, we'll probably use some different cookie cutters. And I'm just gonna cover this one back up so it doesn't crust over. All right, so now we're gonna add more blue. So I'm probably gonna, the other one I added 8 drops. So I'm gonna do 15. Ooh, I don't even know how many that was. We'll call that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that was 15. But I also have more icing in this one, and I feel like I should add a different color to it. And I do have these from last year, so it's a whole assortment of blues. And I feel like I should go with sapphire blue. Maybe that'll do something. Change up the color just a little bit. So here's sapphire blue. It looks royal blue to me, but we're gonna add like 2 drops. See what it does. 1, 2. Because we want it blue, but we don't want the same blue we just got. So it's definitely a lot darker, but it's not mixed in yet. So give it a sec. Give it a sec. I'm trying to make 2 different shades of blue and then a white. Because it's that winter wonderland, y'all. Okay, this is definitely a darker. It's definitely dark. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. This one's a pretty blue too. Remember, we're gonna take half of this, make it the outline, and then the other half will be the flood. And I feel like we need more flood than anything. Just my opinion from last year. I noticed it, so I'm gonna add more blue. 2 more drops of sapphire blue. 1, 2, and we'll do 4 drops of this royal blue. That was almost bad. It was, it was opening the whole bottle. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see what this does. So we added 6 more drops altogether. Let's see what that blue is looking. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you, Nutrition Nicole, for the floating heart. I appreciate you. Village Food. Village Food, welcome in. That blue didn't do nothing. It looks the exact same. And I'm trying to get all the white incorporated. So I think we need to add I don't want to do green. Maybe purple. Maybe that'll deepen the color. Let's do purple. Let's see what purple does. Or even red, but I don't want to mess it up. Purple reddish. We don't want cherry. Navy blue, no. Okay, where are you, purples? Purples don't want to come out and play. I feel like I just went through all of these and don't see purple. We got some black. We could do some black. But black would be too dark. And I don't like the taste of black. There's purple. Let's do 1 drop of purple. Let's see what that does. I wish I could do like half a drop. Maybe I can if I touch it. There we go. Yeah, that didn't do nothing either. It didn't do nothing, y'all. I still see white in here too. But it is a lot darker, so you probably can't see it on the camera, but it is darker than the one I just made. So I'm gonna add 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully we didn't overdo it. We don't want purple. We just want a darker blue. And yeah, that really didn't do anything either. It didn't do nothing, y'all. It is a pretty blue. Now compared to that blue. I feel like it is darker, but it could be darker. So let's just add 10 drops of blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we did 8. Because remember, less is more. What are you making? I am making royal icing for the sugar cookies for Santa on Thursday. And that blue didn't do anything either. So this is a royal icing for sugar cookies, and I'm trying to get a darker blue. And the blues that I'm using are not cutting it. So we're gonna go to black. Let's see what black does. 2 drops. Black should darken it, right? And green is gonna be like, it's gonna turn it aqua green. And I don't want it to be aqua. Like it's like teal or turquoise. The black didn't do nothing either. But I gotta get moving on this because we don't want it to crust over or anything. We want it to still be usable. So we're just gonna stop there with the color mixing. It is a lot darker than the blue we just made, so you can see it. But I wish it was a little darker. One more time, one more time. Purple again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that should do it. Hello, homebody Trish. Welcome in. Family is coming on in. Shout out to the 21 in the chat. We're making royal icing for Santa's cookies. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing to the channel. Would love more family members here. Thumbs up the live. Send a gift if you feel generous, because we get gifts over here. And welcome to the channel. My name is Famous. We are making royal icing for Santa Claus. And if you catch me tomorrow, you'll see we are baking the cookies. If you missed my vlogmas of making the cookies, go back and watch, because we made cookies on the channel. And they're sugar cookies. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get. It's a good enough blue. So that's the outlining. But welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. And we've been going hard on the cooking, and I noticed people love the cooking. So I will definitely be doing more of this. But you know me, healthy eating over here, except for right now. So I like to use this bag and a glass, so we don't have to like struggle and hold the bag open. So this is the outline consistency, so it's a lot thicker, and you don't need a lot. We want more of the flood than anything. And if you're just joining me, a flood is what fills the cookie. The outlining is what you put around the edge of the cookie so the flood doesn't go over the edge of the cookie, if that makes sense. And hopefully it does. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, come watch on Wednesday. Wednesday we will decorate. Again, I didn't let it settle. So we want the bubbles to come up to the top. So we're gonna just set that to the side. And we are going to thin this out because this is pretty thick. You see that? It's thick, and that's not what we want. So we're gonna add a little water to it to thin it out. And look, we will have the same color, outlining flood. So the flood will be a lot looser. And we will just mix this in. And you'll see it's all shiny again. It's a whole lot looser. If it's too loose, you can add a little powdered sugar to it, and that will thicken it up again. But this should be good for the consistency. I'll probably just have to cut a small hole when I'm doing it, a very small hole for the flood, because you don't want this to be spilling out. But you can see how it's like melting back into the icing. That's what a flood is. So when you make that ribbon, it's like, and if you jiggle it, it definitely disappears. So that's the consistency. Let me do that again so you can see it. The ribbon, it's melting into itself, but if you shake it like that, then it melts back in. You can even see the air bubbles that are coming up. So that's what we were waiting for. And then you just pop them. Pop those air bubbles. But we'll let this sit for a sec. And we will get to the other icing that we just made. And you can see the air bubbles. We're going to put this in a bag. And I need to label these. Let me grab a marker. All right, we got a marker. So we know which one's a flood and which one's a outline. And I'll just put OL for outline, flood for F for flood. And I'm just gonna grab another utensil. And this one we'll use a spoon. We'll just pour this in there. Nice and beautiful. I love the color. I can't wait to decorate the cookies. Are you decorating cookies, chat? Let us know. Are you decorating cookies? And if you're a content creator, let us know that too. If you're a content creator, put a 1 in the chat. And if you're not connected to one of the content creators in the chat, connect with them. We all family here. We can grow. We can connect. We like connecting. And I like to call my subscribers here family. So if you're not familiar with someone in the chat and we all about that good vibes, join each other. Join each other. So this will be the flood. Look at that pretty frosting. Yes. Hello, Fire Dr. Ninja Turtle. Hello, hello. Class done for 2025. Building classes for January. Okay, love it. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. I hope everyone's doing well. Hello, Sprouts. Sprouts Den, welcome in, welcome in. We're making royal icing for the sugar cookies for Santa on Thursday. And if you want to make royal icing, you can do so. This bag is really tough to tie. Good thing I have this marker so I can just push it through that hole. They do have clips for your bag, so if you want to clip your bag, you can do that too. But I don't have any clips, so I just tie a knot. And I try to get it really, really tight. And these shouldn't bust on you. Mine are like anti-burst bags, so it shouldn't bust on you. But this is the flood, so I'm gonna put an F on it. F. I'll put it on the other side too. F. And then the other one we'll put OL on it. For the outline. All right, so flood and outline, they're the same color, y'all. OL outlining, so this is what you would do first, and then the flood is the second step. But yeah, we got the color. Now we're going to move on to, well, let's tie this one because it's been open long enough. This is the outline. It's not the flood. Not the flood, because we made the flood second, which is still in the bowl over there. But this is a whole lot darker than the other one. So you can see the two blues we got. This took a lot of coloring. A little too much, if you ask me. We got purple, black, royal blue, and regular blue in there to make this darker blue. It's a lot of color. It was not trying to get dark blue. But it takes time too. So these are gel colors too, if you're wondering. This one I got from Amazon last year, so it comes with 26 colors. And then the other two that I have, this bigger bottle, is from Hobby Lobby. So if you have a Hobby Lobby, check that out. But I do want to look into using more natural colors without the chemicals and processed things that are in there, because it's not good for your health. And we know that. Even the government knows that. That's why they're trying to ban it out of America's foods. But that has not happened yet. I don't think. I don't know. I haven't followed it. But I know they were trying to ban it. Alright, so we got that tied up. And that is the outline of this blue. OL. OL. And tonight we're just making the icing. So the icing is really complete. We're just putting it in bags. And then we're gonna put the flood in this bag. And then all we have left is the white. So we only have 3 colors that we're working with. Imagine if you were doing like 6 different colors. You're gonna have to make a lot of icing. A lot of icing. All right, so you can see this is still ribboning pretty great. It's melting back into itself. You shake it and it dissipates. There was bubbles in here, but I touched it before you could see it. But this is the flood icing. And we're going to put this in the bag. Pretty blue. We're getting like, we got a lot of this blue. I feel like I need to get some more room up in there without trying to make a mess. Give me a sec, give me a sec. Give me a sec, blue. Give me a sec, blue. Blue's trying to make a mess over here. All right. So now we got more room to pour this in. Because we don't want to waste it. And this will hold fairly well in the refrigerator without the color like separating and stuff like that. If you put it in the freezer and it's colored, it will separate, is what the lady said. Now this is my second time making royal icing, so I'm not an expert at it, but I am getting great at it, even though it's my second time. So And you'll see the results if you come join me on Wednesday night. Or maybe Wednesday morning, I don't know. All right, we got our icing in there. Welcome in, welcome in. Everyone speaking to each other. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Emo, if you're still here. Appreciate you being here. We're making royal icing for Santa. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't hit the thumbs up. We always strive for the thumbs up. It's free to do. We like thumbs up. And I hope you're enjoying the content that we are creating over here on Rooted in Essential Oil. My name is Famous. Welcome to the channel. Think about subscribing to the channel. We love more family members here. We're all good content over here, health and wellness related. Outside of the holidays, we do a lot of things like health and wellness. So working out, eating healthy, even though this is not the healthiest choice. But we do a lot of great things over here. We talk about essential oils. We use a lot of different plant-based products that will support your health and not harm you in any type of way. My channel is my business, and I try to make it your business so you are more aware and in tune to use more natural things in your day-to-day lifestyle. So it doesn't have to look like my life. It can look like your life, but you make healthier choices throughout your life. That way you don't have issues later along your lifetime. And this is really, really hard to make a knot with this one. And hopefully it does not come loose. I feel like it is, but we'll see. I might just have to hold it really steady. But this is the flood icing anyway, so we'll put F on this one. And it's very loose. It's very, very loose compared to the other one. This one's like a lot thicker. And look, it's the same color, y'all. Can you tell the difference? No. All right, so there's our blues. We got 2 darker blues and 2 lighter blues. And I know you can see white right there, but it's okay. It's not gonna harm it. We just didn't mix it as well. So those are our blues. Now we just gotta do the white, and we're all done, y'all. And with the white, we don't have to do too much. Because the white is a more of a detail. So I'm gonna split this, but we don't have a lot of white because it's mostly in the blue. And I was trying to make them all even as possible, but you know, things happen. We got more blues than whites, and that's okay. It ain't gonna hurt anything. All right, we need that spatula. Sorry, y'all, you can't see me, but I'm rinsing off my spatula so we can get to the white. And if you look at my white, for the most part, it has not crusted over, so it's still usable on the edges, which is a great thing. And y'all, I didn't even try the icing, but we'll try the white. Normally I taste it, but I didn't even taste it, y'all. Alright, let's see. So, you see it's kind of thicker side. It's taking a while to like rib in and be pliable. We're gonna take half of this as the outline and put it in this glass with our piping bag. And I was trying to let y'all see it. Okay, so this is our outline consistency. And this one's been sitting the longest because this is what we started off with before we started making the colors. So there's no air bubbles in this one. And I don't think last year when I made these, I didn't run out of any color because it doesn't take much. Which I also feel like that's why the cookie is not like overly sweet, because you're not using a bunch of the icing. And it's like a thin layer. It's not like a super thick. Even though the only part with the cookie that I made last year, I didn't roll them thin enough. So they were on the thicker side, which I didn't mind, but I want to try to get them a little thinner than what I made last year. So, well, that is our test for this year, is to make the cookie dough a lot thinner. But they're easier to like maneuver as dough when you use the cookie cutter. When they're thicker, you won't mess up the shape. But I feel like with thinner dough, it messes up. So we'll see how we do tomorrow when we bake the cookies. All right, so we want to thin this out. And I'm going to add some water. We still got water from what we got earlier. And we're going to thin this out to make the flood. And I know you can't see what I'm doing because the bowl's a lot higher than the other bowls that I was using. But this consistency is almost there. I mean, I guess I could get closer to the camera, but I feel like the comments are blocking it. But you can see the ribboning. So it's like melting right back into itself. You shake it and it disappears. So this is a good consistency. I'm gonna add just a little more water, just a little bit. And then add more of the edge. Because the edge, you still can incorporate everything on the edge, as long as it's not like crusted over and it's still soft. If you got crusties in there, it's gonna mess up your dough or your icing. And that's not what you want. Because then it won't be all smooth and pretty looking. So this is probably where we're gonna stop with this one. And you can see the ribboning. It's probably a little loose, but it's workable. We got our glass with our bag. We're going to scrape this in. Sorry, I got quiet. There was a lot of concentration into putting this icing into this glass. Get all the concentration. All right. Right, that is the flood icing and the last icing. Let's try it. It's good. I like it. Come on, royal icing. I'm gonna stick something in there. It's a good icing. I like it. I didn't even let y'all try it. It was so good, I didn't even let you try it. You're just gonna have to come back for a cookie. All right, so this is the flood icing. with the white. And this is way more than enough icing to do at least, I'd say, maybe like 30 to 40 cookies. I don't know about 50, unless your cookies are like super small. But a normal size cookie, yeah, this can definitely do, it can do some like 40 cookies. Maybe 50. I don't know, I've never done it. But I know it will complete the cookies that we're doing for Santa on Christmas Eve. So join me on Christmas Eve. We'll be making or decorating cookies. The cookies will already be made. They'll be made tomorrow. So if you want to see baking of the cookies and cookie cuttering and all that, come join us tomorrow. I'm trying to push this bag through the hole and it is not working with me. The first one wasn't this hard. These other bags are like a struggle. How long have we been on here? 1 hour and 23 minutes. Oh, come on, come on. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up. Would be greatly appreciated. Stash Cash. Welcome in, welcome in. Sorry I didn't see you come in. And if I missed anybody else in the chat, put something in the chat so I can see you right now. Put something right in the chat. Stash, we over here making royal icing for Santa's cookies. And we made royal icing, so we got the outline for the cookie in white. So this is the outline, this is the flood. The difference between them is one's thicker than the other. The outline holds the flood icing in, so the cookie doesn't have icing coming off the edge of the cookie. So we put OL for outline. So you always want to outline your cookie first and then add your flood, and that is like the base of the cookie. So we got an outline of the white. We got the flood icing, which is a lot thinner. So it's like the base of your cookie, and I'm just writing F for flood so we know which one is which. And it's a very simple recipe. So powdered sugar, corn syrup, extracts of butter and vanilla. We got food coloring and water, and that is the recipe. We got some other blues. So we got a lighter blue and a darker blue. So we're doing decorating on Wednesday, Christmas Eve. And you'll be able to join on a Wednesday to see the decorating of the cookie. Decorating of the cookie. But I was almost about to use Bill Cosby's voice. But we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. Sorry, I missed it. Kathy, it's all good. That's what the replay is for. But I appreciate you being here. If you could please hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Your frosting is so perfect though. We'll see. We'll see, because when it dries on the cookie, if you over mix your icing, it will crumble. It will become crumbly and it won't be as smooth. So if you over mix it, that's what will happen. That's why I was saying don't over mix, and that's why I kept stopping in certain points. So if you watch the beginning, you'll see me stop and be like, oh, let's stop. But the recipe is kind of like foolproof, if you will. You just can't add too much water, and take your time. Take your time. I was gonna play her video while doing it, but I was like, I got this. We're not gonna be on the struggle bus over here making icing. It's icing. And we got icing here on the stove, and it sets pretty good. So I'm thinking we did great because it didn't crumble. Now it wasn't completely set. That's why it like smeared right there, but it's all good. I can't wait to decorate these cookies. But do you refrigerate till Wednesday? Yes, great question. So I will refrigerate these until Wednesday. I did not cut the edges, the end off the tip. And when you cut the tip, you're just going to cut very little, a very small hole. If you need to make it bigger, go a little bit at a time. Don't like cut a big hole. Don't be cutting way down here. You want it to be a small hole. And then you outline the cookie first with your icing, so that's the thicker one. And then you go back in with your flood. So the flood is what is the base of the cookie. And then you can use your outline of different colors and make designs. So that's why we got the white, the lighter blue, the darker blue. So there you have it. I also shared the channel that I got the recipe from. I will put the recipe in the description, but I'll also link her channel in the description too. It's not there yet, so bear with me. But I did share her channel in my community post, so you can go there and see. She does make cookies and all kind of icings, and she's very good at what she does. I'm not there, but maybe one day. I'm definitely getting better, and if you've seen my Vlogmas from last year, you've seen my cookies, but they are delicious, they're amazing, and I can't wait to do this again. Tomorrow we will be baking the cookies, so in one sec. If you missed the live from the other night where we made this cookie dough, it's sugar cookie. We made it from scratch. It's been in the freezer. We pulled it out this morning, so it's still somewhat hard, but tomorrow we'll pull it out of the refrigerator, probably like 2 hours before we're gonna bake, and just let it get to room temperature. Probably throw it back in for like 10 minutes, just so it can firm up just a little bit, and then we'll roll it out. Cookie cutter it, figure out what cookie cutters we're gonna be using, and then we'll bake them. And we're gonna bake them all. We're not gonna save any of it, because these cookies are the business. They're not overly sweet. Even though we have some royal icing here, it's not overly sweet. How we're gonna store these? Do I have one? That's the question. Well, technically I don't need it, but I don't have a big Ziploc bag. But if I did, I would just put all of them in there. If these were cut open, I would just press the icing down all the way, fold it, and you'll see the lady do this too. Fold it down and then stuff them in the bag, and try to keep them in like a corner so it doesn't unravel and you won't have icing everywhere. But you can refrigerate this icing, but you can also freeze it. If you are going to freeze it, try not to do color freezing, because it will separate eventually, like in the thawing process, and that's not what you want. So freeze it when it's white, and then you can add your color to it later. This was my second time making this. It came out great, but we will see the final test when we have it all decorated on the cookie. So we'll see how it turns out. But I do appreciate each and every one of you being here. Are you making them for family and friends? I am making them for, and Merry Christmas to you, Barbara. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm making them for the house. So I thought about taking them to work, but I was like, they're too good. Maybe next time. No, if we have a lot of cookies, yeah, I'll take them to work. I did make some other cookies the other day, so if you've been missing Vlogmas, definitely check out my Vlogmas, because I made crinkle cookies. I've made fried Oreos last night. We've done a lot of decorating DIYs from Dollar Tree items. Some things were from Amazon, but a lot of different things on the channel. And I know it has nothing to do with health and wellness, but my channel is health and wellness related. And would love for everyone in the chat right now watching to come on back, watch the content. If you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. My name is Famous. I'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully I'll see you again. And if not, farewell, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I always like to say, pay for your health now or pay for your sickness later. Till next time, please send me some through the phone. Okay, I got you, Barbara. Um, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Love ya. Have a good night.